Now, from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Sunday morning.
We're following breaking news right now. One person is dead after this two-car crash in Gastonia. Take a look at that damage. What police say led to the deadly crash and the way witnesses helped track down one of the drivers involved. And an Iredell Zoo will be open today after a massive tree fell on top of a wagon with people inside. The reasons, customers say it could have been so much worse. But first, a massive storm system is just hours away from the Charlotte area. We're using Charlotte's only local radar to track the moment it hits your neighborhood. Good morning, I'm Elsa Gillis.
And I'm meteorologist Vicki Graff.
Vicki, what do we know about the timing of the storm?
Right now, it looks like the storms aren't going to really arrive until after midday today. If you're getting out early this morning, maybe heading out to services at church, we are tracking some scattered showers. It's this line that's moving through Georgia right now. This is what I'm watching. This eventually is going to make its way into the Carolinas, producing some strong, even severe storms. Right now, light rain, and this is what you can expect this morning. Some scattered showers, nothing severe. This is right on top of Boone, also near Blowing Rock, Banner Elk, Newland. This is moving from southwest to northeast, and we do have that potential for some stronger storms later today. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has already placed us, most of the area that is, under an enhanced risk for severe storms, some of us under a slight risk. Make sure you're prepared for quickly changing weather conditions this afternoon. Let's time everything out for you on Futurecast. Dry for now in Charlotte, tracking some scattered showers in the mountains and the foothills. Once we head towards, say, 11, 12 o'clock, that's when we'll start to see some of this heavier rain ramping up across western North and South Carolina. It's along this leading edge. That's when the most strong, even severe storms will be. And this is going to make a run towards Charlotte closer to around 2, 3 o'clock. Along this line, we're going to see torrential downpours. Also, we are going to see the threat for some damaging wind gusts and a low threat for tornadoes. Make sure you're signed up to receive our free severe weather alerts. I expect that we could even see some type of watch closer to midday today, whether it be a severe thunderstorm watch, maybe even a tornado watch as well. That will clear out by 4 or 5 o'clock. I'll show you when we'll finally be done with the rain coming up.
Vicki, thank you. Make sure you have the WSOC TV weather app ready to go on your phone when the storms roll through. It'll alert you to severe weather in your neighborhood, and you can download it in the Apple and Google Play stores. Back to that breaking news in Gaston County. Police are investigating an early morning crash that killed one driver and sent another to the hospital. The crash happened around 10 last night on Robinwood Road in Gastonia, right in front of Hawks Nest Steam Academy. This is video from our partners at the Gaston Gazette. Just look at all that damage across the roadway. Police say Clarence Bailey III crashed head-on into Stephen Ward, killing Ward. According to the Gazette, witnesses saw Bailey take off, so a man chased him as others called police. Bailey is at the hospital with minor injuries. He's facing several charges, including hit and run and DWI. Now to new information on the airstrikes against Syria. Moments after they were launched, the White House sent a document to Congress explaining the thinking behind the airstrikes. ABC's Molly Hunter breaks down that document and the new satellite images of the intended targets.
New satellite images released showing the before and after of the targets: the government research facility near Damascus, this storage facility, and the chemical weapons bunker. The Pentagon also releasing this video, a U.S. missile emerging from the water, blasting into the sky. At a briefing yesterday, the Pentagon claimed success.
We are confident that we've significantly degraded his ability to ever use chemical weapons again.
But it's not clear that the material used in the Duma attack specifically came from one of these facilities. U.S. officials out with a 5-page report concluding that the Syrian government used both chlorine and sarin in Duma last weekend. The French also putting out a report pointing the finger squarely at Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. According to NATO, European allies are all on board.
All NATO allies expressed their full support for the last night's actions, which was intended to degrade the Syrian regime's chemical weapons capability.
And administration officials in D.C. and New York made clear that the U.S., U.K., and France all agree this is the start of a sustained effort.
If the Syrian regime uses this poisonous gas again, the United States is locked and loaded.
And President Trump has now spoken with both leaders, British Prime Minister Theresa May and French President Emmanuel Macron about how they will collectively react going forward. Molly Hunter, ABC News, London.
Channel 9 spoke with two Syrian natives hours after the strikes. One of the men called the strikes a waste because it leaves the country's president, Bashar al-Assad, in power.
That's not going to end this war, and he's going to get more aggressive, and he's going to kill more people.
He told us he wants the U.S. to do more to help Syrian people who live in fear. An estimated 350,000 people have been killed over the last 7 years, including some family of the Syrian natives we spoke with. And yesterday morning, several Syrian refugee families who live in East Charlotte also told us they believe the U.S. should do more. They say if the U.S. wants to prevent another chemical attack, the Assad regime and its military need to be bombed for days. Channel 9 is following every development in the airstrikes on Syria. You can find all of our coverage on our website, WSOCTV.com. Developing in Iredell County, the Zootastic Park in Troutman will reopen today after the owner says a 112-foot tree fell on top of a wagon with 50 people inside. At least 5 people were hurt, including 2 seriously.
We heard a crack, and she said, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's probably a tree falling," which, you know, it's 120 acres here, so trees fall all the time. Wasn't no big deal. But then we heard a scream.
The owner said yesterday afternoon the wagon made a stop to feed the animals when the tree toppled over. Luckily, both a doctor and nurse were visiting the park and helped until crews arrived. Eyewitness News reporter Deshaun Brown explains why it could have been much worse.
Well, right now, I'm standing exactly where witnesses say that tree crashed between 2 wagons. Here's why that matters. The owner says had that tree crashed any differently in either direction, someone could have been killed. Branches started to crackle, then fell.
It all happened too quick.
Within seconds, a whole tree came crashing down onto women, men, and children.
That tree probably weighs 10,000 pounds.
It happened at a privately owned zoo in Iredell County called Zootastic Park. The owner says there were close to 50 people on board. He wasn't, but heard it happen.
"What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's probably a tree falling," which, you know, it's 120 acres here, so trees fall all the time. Wasn't no big deal. But then we heard a scream.
One witness says the wagon's metal cover collapsed directly onto one woman's head. A little boy was also hurt, his leg possibly fractured. The owner says both of them were rushed to the hospital. The little boy by ambulance, the woman like this.
And if it would have been 2 feet farther forward or 2 feet backwards, it would have landed on the wagons and it would have killed somebody.
Right now, the owner says he's not sure why this tree fell, but he told us there are at least 10,000 others on a 2-mile stretch through the local zoo. One witness says when the tree crashed, the people inside were urged to get out. Some couldn't find their way out.
We all kind of hunkered down between the seats.
It's not a bad idea to get an arborist in here and let them check them because we don't know.
And back here at the park, you can see there is still debris all over this wagon between the branch and where this tarp has collapsed onto the seat. There were at least 3 other people who were hurt. We're told they are expected to be okay. The owner says he also plans to use a different trail for this ride starting next year. Reporting in Iredell County, Deshaun Brown, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Today marks 5 years since the bombings at the Boston Marathon. This is video from just an hour ago in Boston. It's where people will run tomorrow's Boston Marathon. 5 years ago, 2 bombs went off at the finish line, killing 3 people and injuring 260 others. The attacks led to a 5-day manhunt that captivated people's attention across the world. One of the bombers died in an exchange with police. The other, his brother, was later found and taken into custody. He's now sitting on death row. A Charlotte woman was among those injured in 2013. Nicole Gross broke both legs in the blasts. In 2014, 1 year after the bombings, she proudly ran the 5K portion of the Boston Marathon. New this morning, a 16-year-old is in jail accused of shooting a North Carolina deputy in the face. Last night, police in Harnett County arrested Mario Garcia. They say Friday he was reported missing. When Deputy James Cook found the teen that night, a scuffle broke out. Police say that's when Garcia shot Deputy Cook in the chest and face. He is expected to be okay thanks to his bulletproof vest. Police say the teen took off and officials from 3 counties and Highway Patrol searched for him. He was arrested overnight. Turning now to 2 major safety alerts. 200 million eggs are under recall this morning for possible salmonella contamination. This is the largest egg recall in 8 years. The eggs from Rose Acre Farms in Hyde County, North Carolina were distributed throughout the Carolinas and much of the South. The FDA says there have been 22 reports of people getting sick. The egg cartons will have plant number P1065 on them. R.J. Reynolds Vapor Company in Winston-Salem is recalling 2.6 million electronic cigarettes. All Vuse Vibe power units are being taken off shelves after several customers said the batteries malfunctioned, causing the power units to overheat and catch fire. No one has been hurt. We have information on both of these major recalls posted on WSOCTV.com. Go to the news tab and scroll down to recalls. New this morning, an escaped inmate is back in the Rowan County Jail after deputies say he escaped from a second-floor window. Deputies told Channel 9 Timothy Smith Jr. was awaiting trial for a murder in 2016 when he escaped around 9:30 last night. A few hours later, they found him at an apartment on Gasky Road in Salisbury. Deputies say he took off again, but they eventually arrested him. He will face additional charges. Happening tomorrow, a woman will face a judge for the first time. She's accused of hitting and killing a man on Brookshire Boulevard, then taking off. We first showed you the scene along the Brookshire near I-85 yesterday morning. Police say Nakia Phillips hit Roger Cuthbertson Jr. as he crossed the street. Witnesses say she then took off. Cuthbertson was hit by a second vehicle and later died at the hospital. Taking a live look outside right now from our Lake Norman cam. It looks stormy out there. Lots of clouds. Meteorologist Vicki Graff has an update on your forecast in Severe Weather Center 9.
And that's a sign of things to come later today. We are tracking the potential for heavy rain and some stronger storms. We already have a flash flood watch in effect for most of the area. This goes through tonight, and some of the rain we'll see later on will be coming down very heavy. Right now, I am tracking some scattered showers in the mountains. This is just light rain for now, nothing severe. The rain will really ramp up later today. It's warmer as well, even with the clouds. We're in the mid to upper 60s, upper 50s in the mountains. And even though it's cloudy for now, if we do get any breaks of sunshine, that will actually work against us. That could fuel some stronger, even severe storms later today. If you're heading out for a round of golf, I'd get it done early. We will be tracking some scattered showers through, say, 8, 9 o'clock, but by midday, that's when the storms will approach. I'll break down the biggest storm threats you'll see in your neighborhood coming up.
Reviewing Starbucks policies. New at 7:45, the reason one mayor is demanding action after 2 men were arrested inside a Starbucks store. Frustrations over a new hotel in Davidson are headed to court. At 7:30, the reasons neighbors don't want the hotel built and why they said they had to take the matter to court. Blizzard conditions, strong storms, and flash flooding. Next at 7:15, the numerous impacts of the massive spring storm from the southeast to the Midwest.